had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, this crazy, I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up, it look like I'm foreign cars driving fast, I never done this before. Get drown out my problems, let me When I've been up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Ready to get us started, the Aussie punter and kickoff man, Michael Dixon. And off we go on EA Sports. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Let's go. Under 10.
12 yards the pickup, good enough for an Arizona first. That may be a sneak peek on this opening drive of what this young rookie can showcase, his legs.
And normally, as you start a game, you're just thinking, can he get the snap? Can he hand off? Can he just execute? Instead, he doesn't waste any time on wrapping another dimension to his game, showing off those wheels, and picking up some nice yardage.
Watch the screen.
Now the first carry for Marshawn Lynch. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Tackle coming from the safety, Trey Flowers.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Quick throw out to Gordon on the perimeter. 12 yards the pickup, good enough for an Arizona first.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
When when we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On second down, it's Lynch. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. From the gun, Jackson looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. On fourth down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. He'll find Metcalf. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Wilson now to throw on third down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. It got his man complete. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 48 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. Here's the second-year man from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On second down, here's Penny. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, first down Seahawks. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Here's Wilson to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Chances are good. He's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Silver.
To throw is Wilson. Going to throw again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at third and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Some bad Super Bowl memories certainly surfacing for the Seahawks. Another pick thrown from the 1-yard line.
If we weren't both here together, there's no way you could convince me that they did that this is going to happen again. Same spot and another interception.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. We're scoreless after 1. Back in Arizona, 2nd quarter action. It's the Cardinals in possession as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. On 2nd down, Johnson. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving him a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually broke that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. This a quick pass to Davis. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. On third down, Johnson. And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal. Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game. It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 27, Wilson, rush coming, and he's taken down. Give the sack there to Jake Ryan.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Like a freight train off the edge, Calais Campbell with a sack.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Let's go now. 46 the outlaw. Hey,
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Check, boys.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. He needed 9, he got 8. And that's going to leave him with a 4th and 1 on their side of the field.
4th down and 1.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And this is caught. Demaryius Thomas. Touchdown, Cardinals. Demaryius Thomas, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
At the 35-yard line.
Throwing on second down, Wilson. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now a play fake here on first down. Dancing to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him. And hear the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. If they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On third down, Johnson. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Andy Lee now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that one hits at the 7 but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that's going to be intercepted. The all-pro corner, Patrick Peterson. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll toss it to Penny. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
But these guys going to chop into that deficit? They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point up and through by Myers, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Set the tone, Mike 5-4, Mike 5. Mike 5-4.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Got Gordon open, completes it. A first down there on a pickup at 25.
It's a gain of 25 yards on the play. That's good for the Cardinals.
Check, block 54, block 54.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give them a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Come on, QB, come on. Switch. Check it backer.
They go to Johnson again. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wilson, and that's going to be intercepted. The all-pro corner, Patrick Peterson, and he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
The Seahawks take over.
We got this.
At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And he rifles one incomplete. Metcalf once again the target. 3rd down here.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And some space here. There he goes, right side. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 50 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Penny will try to punch it in. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play. Leads to 2nd and goal at the Cardinals' 4-yard line.
They come out here in the I. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Another try for Penny. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Flushed out right. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal. And Myers able to knock it through. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 24-yard line.
Jackson from the shotgun. And Thomas has it. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Let's go now. Took the outlaw. Echo. Hey, you don't want to see me.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And some room to work. He's got daylight. 30, 10, touchdown, Cardinals. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals push further out in front. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 30. will take over at the 29-yard line. Jennings was the one he was looking for.
At their own 29-yard line.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Jackson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose it down on the grounding call. Following the penalty, Lynch. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
I think it's pretty easy to say this is a ginormous 3rd down opportunity here for the defense. And I'm just going to tell you, Brandon, from my experiences, what you're saying in the huddle to each other is all the right things. Read your keys, do your job. But the biggest one, you don't have to do more. Just do what you can do, and you can make this play.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line.
At their own 12-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's going to be intercepted. The all-pro corner, Patrick Peterson. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now he's into the clear. 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great play there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 7 yards there and a first down. Wilson operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The linebacker, Jordan Hicks, flying in there for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
58 for Mike, 58. 58.
The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 45. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. Gonzalez now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory. Right back out there doing the things that he does best and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. And that's going to be intercepted. The all-pro corner, Patrick Peterson. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. Because if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Back to the ground, this time Lynch. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Whistles and a timeout at the 2:05 mark. So this defense wanting to get one more pause in before the 2-minute warning, and they do just that. The Cardinals on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down big here late. I don't know. Just one last drive here for pride. Some pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Bud Dupree in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle. And that's going to be intercepted. The All-Pro corner, Patrick Peterson. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. Gonzalez to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. They'll try and run forward with Penning. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
He's coming, double up. Check. Switch.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.